Hey, welcome back YouTube family to another video. Today's video is going to be dedicated to all the catalytic converters that have been gone far too soon. We're going to go and pick up the catalytic converter shield from Cat Security. They are based about an hour away from me, so I decided to just go pick it up myself. But for those of you who are interested, they offer free shipping. So I'm lucky enough to have them close by. I have the next couple days off, so I'll have time to install it on my dad's 2005 Toyota Tacoma, and you will see that install process. Alright, after picking up the cat shield from Cat Security, we finally have some time to put it on under my dad's 2005 Toyota Tacoma. It is a pre-runner, two-wheel drive. There's a difference between two and four-wheel drive, so you gotta specify that. Anyways, let's do this. Let's see how it looks like. Let's see how hard it is. Alright, as you can see here, the cats here are way overexposed. There's one here, very similar to the third gen. So this thing is called the bell housing shield. This is going to go on first. Alright, here's a closer look at the bell housing shield. Again, there's 3 bolts here, but this one is notched, so you do not have to even mess with that one. It's just this bottom one and this top one. Alright, so here's how the setup looks like. You got the main center panel, and then you got the wings here. We're gonna get 8 torque screws, torque bolts, whatever you want to call them, and we're gonna marry the sides onto the main panel. Here they are. We're going to use this applied Torx bit here and our impact to install them all. The instruction asks or calls to use the blue thread locker as well. This is what the assembled shield should look like. Alright, so we're going to get ready to put the shield on under. This is the tranny cross member, or these little holes that are threaded already. There's 2 on this passenger side, 2 on the driver's side here. So that's going to hold the bulk of the rear. And to the front, so these 3 holes here, this middle one is going to be, I'm thinking where the main one in the front, the big bolt is. So here's what's going on here. You might have to chase some thread here. This is a California truck, but the hole's a little dirty, as in rusty. The supply bolts were having trouble getting in there, so I figured let's chase some thread lightly and let's see if the bolts will go in easier. So before you get frustrated and say they gave you the wrong bolt, which was what I first thought. Try this out first. Alright, now that we've tapped out the holes, nice clean threads there and over here. Alright, so here's the mock-up of it underneath before we make the holes to drill the holes to the front here of the cross member. On the rear side, I just put 2 bolts in to hold it in place. And then in the front here is that long bolt with the the square or rectangle washer up here with the nylock nut up here. I didn't tighten it up all the way, obviously, because again, I'm just mocking it up. So here's what we're looking at. Line up all the holes. I have a Sharpie with me. I'm just gonna mark where this hole needs to be drilled, and then this hole right here. Those are our two markings here. We're gonna drill that to 7/16 of an inch. And these are gonna be where the nut certs are gonna go. So because you have bare metal now after drilling the holes here, let's make sure to paint them first before we put the riv nut in. This is their DIY kit to install the nut certs. These guys, so that you don't have to go buy a riv nut gun. But we are missing one of these nuts. You see here, you need to use 2 nuts. So quite unfortunate. We have an incomplete kit here. I did, however, pick this guy up from Harbor Freight for $49.99. And just an FYI, they don't do 20% discounts anymore. Alright, we're gonna set up this bad boy, and we are going to press the riv nuts in. Let's set this guy up first. It's my first time. Hopefully it goes well. So the nuts and bolts that come with it is an M8, so you just gotta know that it's an M8. And what do you know? We got M8 right here. Actually, it's all set up for an M8 already, if you look at that. And how you know is you get your riv nut, and it should screw on. Yep, there you go. So what I gather is when you open it like this, you gotta screw it in even more all the way. Alright, so after waiting for the paint to dry, who am I kidding? I'm not waiting for it to dry. I'm just gonna put the riv nut in and keep going. All right, on to the second one. There it is. All right, this is it. We're gonna install the rear first. The rear, rear cross member, and then to the front cross member here. For the rear, it calls for the security Torx bolts with the star lock washers. And yeah, let's thread it through. And you do not need the thread locker for this because you're using the star lock washers already for that purpose. All right, I'm gonna do the front one so it'll hold everything together so I don't have to keep holding it. So again, long bolt and then the rectangle washer. And then nylock nut. So for these two side ones, we're going to use a combo of the security Torx bolt flat washer and then the star washer. Again, no thread locker needed just because we're using the star washer. Finish up the rear. Oh, come on. Ran out of battery. Gotta do it the old school way. Alright, so here's a look of what it all looks like. So the sides are all covered pretty good here. The caps would be right here. Front side. Remember that bill of housing plate? So from the front, it's blocked off here, no access. And their rears, and from the front. Alright, I'm gonna leave you with a couple parting words here. Took longer than expected. It's actually a pretty relatively easy job. It's just it took a lot of time. Had to get tools together. Most garages probably won't have this, so be prepared to go and get it. Yeah, they come with it. The kit comes with a DIY kit where you use nuts and bolts to tighten it down and scrunch up that riv nut. But I think out of convenience, just go to the store, go to Harbor Freight and pick one of these guys up. At 400 something bucks, is it worth it? Depends on how you think of it. The potential of your cats being stolen, yeah, it's worth it. Is 400 bucks a lot of money? Heck yeah, it is. There are cheaper alternatives, more universal kits like the cap clamp. I'll link it in right here. There's a cap clamp installed on my daily driver. So yeah, you have a bunch of other options. I bought the more expensive one for my dad's truck just because it's a kit. It's, you know, someone spent the time, an engineer spent the time to design the bends and the cuts, and someone actually went through and did the whole kit for you. So again, you're paying out of convenience, and yeah, it is a lot of money, but also peace of mind. Now you can drive the truck, park it anywhere, and you feel relatively safe and secure about it. Again, I'm going to emphasize, if a thief really wants your cat, they're going to take it no matter what. But just installing another level, another shield of security is just going to make it that much tougher. And I mean, unfortunately, the thought of it is you'll go to the next victim. So prepare yourself and just secure yourself from these thieves. All right, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.